Yeah!
Well, the idea for this video is to hopefully protect this car. I've had it about 9 months now. It was only $6.44 from Walmart. It was their cheapest one. But the thing is, it's now summer, there's very high humidity, and I did recently post a video where the Mario Kart suffered really bad battery damage. There's a picture on the screen. So the thing is, underneath this one there's a screw, and I'll need to undo that each time to take the batteries out for storage. I know I haven't done, the same batteries are still in here, so I want to fix that problem of potential battery leak. So what I'd rather do is to negate all those problems and replace the batteries with a lithium cell, and these are two that have come from vapes. So I want to try one of these in there. What we should end up with is a little bit extra voltage, so about 4 volts rather than 3, because of only 2 AAs. We should get a bit of a speed increase, but it means that the thing can sit in there with it switched off, because they do have a on-off switch on the bottom. There we go. And it should be a lot safer, bizarrely enough, by using lithium than using regular batteries. I've removed that screw now, and as you can see, yes, there they are sat there. Luckily they haven't leaked. And looking inside there, you can see at the bottom there's a little gap between the two cell holders, and at the top there isn't. So I'll be connecting to the bottom. I'd rather not just solder onto those tabs though, that would be a bit naff. So what I'll have to do is to get to the circuit, and to do that there's 2 screws near the bottom and there's another screw at the top, and we should be able to have a look at the circuit board as well. But that way you can get to the wires and do this properly. Here we are with the top removed, and it's still kind of neat and tidy. There is another screw over here, so I've got to take that off to have a look at the circuit. I'm kind of impressed with the build quality, $6.44. Anyway, I'll do that. It's a little bit more complicated, it wasn't just the one. If I lift that, the whole front end moves. So I looked underneath, and in fact there's 2 more screws. And by some slight wiggling around, because these are now loose, these front wheels, we do end up with the circuit. So now it should be quite the simple case of attaching wires to the points where the batteries connect. It should also allow it to be redone in the future if I wanted to take the LiPo idea out and just use the normal batteries. But right, I'll put some wires on. And it looks like if I take that another screw out there, I can remove this circuit, or at least, I mean, I can probably move it anyway, so it isn't, yeah, I'll just do that, just turn it to one side, and now I can connect to the plus and the minus. And here's an update. What I elected to do was to put a small hole in the side of the chassis there, and that'll mean I can run the 2 wires with the plug through from here into the battery area. And I'll be using, I'll just get it, I'll be using at least this end here, this type of connector. Whether I use this battery or not, I'm not sure. This one seemed to give very low performance when I tried it on a drone, on a quadcopter. So not really sure yet. I may use that one over there, the round type. But the thing is, I don't have one of the matching connectors. So what I do have though is one of these chargers, and on it are 5 of the ports. So if I take a port off that, and that's the right kind of connector, I'll do that next. Here is the inside of that charger, and you can see that it's just a couple of pins on each one, so I'll desolder one of them. There we go, there's the connector on the right, and there's the hole that's now left where it used to be. But yes, came off fine. And there it is, back together again with one socket missing. But I only ever charge one battery at a time, so I wouldn't have used that anyway. I found a red and black wire actually on a very old battery of a similar type, but that meant when I removed the ends, they do actually go straight onto this other connector. That's fantastic. I'll get some heat shrink and make that secure, but I'm very pleased with that because they do just push on firmly. And there we are with that connecting lead. So next to put it onto the circuit and put the wires through the small hole. So there we are, the wiring's done. I've got the red and the black coming down, going through the hole, and then there's the connector. So next thing, I'll put the bits back on, well, put the thing back together, and then put a battery in and see how it does. There we go, connected up, all nice and neat. I do quite like that. Alright, switching on, get the controller. Oh, there we go. And it seems fine. Yeah, seems like it might have enough power. Well, I've got to take it outside next and see how it does. Whoa, that is actually a bit quicker. Hey! Whoa, that is rapid! Woohoo! Yes! Oh, this is great, look at it! Wow! It just goes now. Yeah! This is an improvement. Oh man. Yay! And off he goes. So as a summary, that was well worth doing. I've been mucking about with this for a good 5 or 6 minutes now. No issues on the LiPo. This thing really does handle the terrain a lot better, this kind of stuff. I mean, that really is a bit too much to ask for something like this, and it is Walmart's cheapest RC. So yeah, it's faster, lasts just as long, seems to be fine, you know, for the amount of time with that LiPo. Runs great, and possibly even safer than using AA batteries. There we are. I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks very much for watching, and see you next time.